There was a rumor that emerged earlier this weekend. I don't know. Is it a rumor? I don't want to completely discount what Colin Cowherd says about the subject, because every once in a while, like me, blind squirrel eats an acorn. He was making this argument for both Nick Saban and Arch Manning to end up in Cleveland next year. And would it surprise me if Jimmy Haslam decides to take a big swing on Nick Saban? No. Would it surprise me if the Browns are in position to get Arch Manning if he comes out after 1 year? No. They already hold Jacksonville's first-round pick. If the Browns are bad and the Jaguars aren't great, you have a couple of high first-round picks that can become the first overall pick. The Browns may earn the first overall pick. Who knows? But none of it would surprise me if that's what Haslam wants to do. And that's why the pressure's on all the quarterbacks in Cleveland, because none of them may be there next year. Or Gabriel could be there as a backup. Shadur could be there as a backup. But starter long-term, it could be none of the guys currently on the roster, including Watson, is the long-term answer in Cleveland. It could be that they are in position to get Arch Manning if he comes out after only 1 year, and who the hell knows what he's going to do. Saban would be an interesting choice as head coach. And I mention him because he was on Fox News this morning. Our friend Mike Rodak spotted it, wrote about it at 247sports.com. And he was pressed by Brian Kilmeade repeatedly on whether or not he's done coaching. And at the end of the day, Saban offered up a quote that was not a denial. He sees no opportunities right now that would entice him to coach. Okay, that implies there could be opportunities that emerge in the future, like after this season. Right now, all the jobs are taken. What opportunity would there be? Nobody's calling Nick Saban today and saying, hey, would you like to come coach the team? And any team that would even be in position to do it, you're already screwed. After this season, though, there may be an opportunity that would entice Nick Saban to coach. And the thinking is he's more likely to go to the NFL than to college. Now, look, I firmly believe that if the NCAA gets everything it wants from the federal government, more on that in a second, and they go back to the way it was before the NIL phenomenon, and Saban can go back to rigging the system in his favor and recruiting all the best players to wherever he goes, he may be interested in going back to college. I've always believed, and this goes back to his upbringing. There was a biography several years ago. He grew up not far from where I'm sitting. His dad was very demanding, perfectionist, and at a gas station, cleaning cars. Nick worked there. There's a spot on the hood. Got to keep going until you get every spot off the hood. That NFL blemish is the spot on the hood that I think still bothers him, and he'd like to rectify it. He didn't have a quarterback in Miami. He said before that if they had signed Drew Brees, he may still be in Miami. Now, I don't believe he'd still be there, but he may have been there more than 2 years. By the second year, he was miserable and he wanted to go back to college. As Jason Garrett told Dan Patrick the other day, and I've heard this before, I've said this before, Saban preferred college because at the NFL, you get 1 first-round pick. At college, you can recruit 10 of them if you're good. The reason he left, you had to start buying them, not recruiting them, and he couldn't compete on that level playing field with the richest programs. That's why I believe he got out. That's why I believe he decided he'd had enough. So he could go back to college, or maybe he could go to the pros if he had a franchise quarterback. Who knows? But he did not slam the door. He did not say, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. Well, he did not say that again. He did not. Maybe he's learned from December of 2007 to never be unequivocal. Because the moment you are is the moment you end up being proven wrong. Speaking of this whole NIL thing. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.